Good morning, it's Anita from Ocean Coaching, and today I've done this as a pre-recorded video rather than a Facebook Live for fairly obvious reasons really, because I don't kind of know how it's going to go, so I thought I'd do it as a pre-recorded video. So I'm kind of wimping out a little bit maybe. Anyway, today's a really special day for me and also for my family, and some might say, why are you sharing this from a business perspective or a business point of view? But bear with me, because this is so important. This is part of my why. What I'm going to tell you now is the fundamental, the beginning, the foundations, the real, raw, authentic, absolute my why, my first initial why as to why I am self-employed and why I have my own business. And so please bear with me, because this is kind of, you know, real stuff. So 21 years ago, so go back 21 years ago today, and I was 23. I don't mind you knowing how old I am. I was 23 years of age, and my husband back then was just my boyfriend, and we just started living together. And his mum was 46, so she was fairly young, but we are going back 21 years ago. She was 46, and she had a 3-year-old son, my husband's younger brother. 21 years ago today, she went into hospital to have what should have been life-changing major surgery for she had cancer, unfortunately, and she entrusted us with looking after her then 3-year-old little boy. And I was working in a corporate world at the time. I had a big badass job in marketing and publishing, so more than just 9 to 5. Anyway, so what else you do when someone that you love asks you to look after their 3-year-old, who we were really close to, of course you're going to do it, aren't you? You're going to do it. You know, you just do it. So over the course of the 6 months that followed from then, I was working full-time in my big bad corporate job, really not enjoying it, because I just wanted to kind of, you know, be around this little boy, my little brother-in-law, and, you know, nurture him and look after him. Being a parent doesn't come with a rule book. It doesn't come with an instruction book, especially not when you're 23 and you really haven't got a blinking clue what you're meant to be doing. It's one thing babysitting, it's another, absolutely a whole other thing to be in charge of this little life, this little boy whose world's been turned upside down because his mummy's in hospital and she's really poorly and she's in intensive care most of the 6 months, or in and out of having treatment during that 6-month period. And equally having to support my then boyfriend that is now my husband. So clearly I must have done something right, because we got married a few years after that. But going back to that, so at the time, you know, I was absolutely, especially this time of the year, I was having to ask for time off work, you know, to go to his nativity play at nursery. Having to put him into nursery full time absolutely crippled me. Absolutely, it was just horrible. I didn't want him to go to nursery full time, but we had no option. We really had no option. And all the things that I wanted to enjoy, I couldn't, because I had to go to work, you know. And I was leaving at stupid o'clock in the morning, sit in traffic for about an hour to do a short journey, get to work, do my day's work, you know, having to deal with all sorts of stuff, trials, tribulations within the corporate world and within being in an office and having a team of people around me that equally were looking up to me and that I needed to guide and support. But anyway, it was just, I don't know, I wanted to just be around. I wanted more flexible working hours, but back then you didn't get them. You really, really didn't get them. So, you know, my management team weren't overly understanding, if I'm being brutally honest. Anyway, so I had to learn very quickly how to be a parent, and also how to juggle my day job. And, you know, I remember of quite God knows how many times I'd be stuck in traffic trying to get back for him to pick him up before nursery finished at 6 o'clock. And it was just, oh God, it was awful, absolutely awful. When I look back now, I mean, I could tell you some stories, and I probably will write a book on the whole thing. But I just think it's really important for me to share this, because I think you need to know that I haven't just rocked up here and decided that, you know, I'm going to help people start businesses, and that, you know, I don't understand when I've done it myself. You know, I've made that leap from the corporate world into having my own businesses, and crikey, it's the best thing that I ever did. At least I've got flexibility now, and, you know, and freedom, and I can be around for my children, and I can go to all the school plays, and I can be a mum and a business owner, and the two are working really well together, and I wouldn't want to change it for the world. So why did I stop working? Why did I make that leap? So that was back in December, the 13th of December 1996. And then on the 7th of May 1997, unfortunately, my mum-in-law passed away. And I can't talk about that too much, because I still get upset even though it was 20 years ago. So she passed away, and most people inherit things like, you know, houses, cars, shoes, jewellery. We inherited her little 3-year-old son, my little brother-in-law. And we literally, and this is no word of a lie, we just cracked on, we just got on with it. We had no option but just to get on with it, you know. We had help and support from my parents, who were absolutely amazing, and they treat him as a grandson now, which is awesome. We are a very, very close family. But we didn't get any sort of outside support or help, so we just literally cracked on. That was in the May. Had the funeral, got the funeral out of the way. I went back to work. They were pushing me to go back to work, so I went back to work. I think I had just over a week off. Went back to work, and I remember going in the July. So a couple of months later, I was in the office, and he was due to start school in September, but part-time hours, you know, like kids do, and they only go in when they first start school at the tender age of 4. You know, they do like a couple of hours at a time. Anyway, I asked my bosses that could I, in the first 2 weeks of September, could I work from home? Could I do some flexible hours? Because I wanted to be able to take him to school and pick him up. And because he was doing like a couple of hours at a time until they settle him in, I wanted to be there for him. Why should he not have had the same as all the other kids? Why shouldn't have he been able to have had a mum there, you know, someone there as his mum? Because he was now referring to me as his new mummy. And I just, when they just said no, they said no, we need you here, you know. We need you, the team needs you, we need you here, we can't have that, you can't work from home. I was absolutely devastated. I even offered to take it as unpaid leave, they wouldn't let me. And so I came home that evening, I spoke to Mick, my husband, and do you know what? I just said to him, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to give it all up, and I want to work from home. He had his own business at the time, and so I want to help him build his business, and I want to be around, and, you know, be a I don't know, work part-time for him, and help him build his business, which was very, very new back then, and be a mum and do all this stuff that, you know, that my little boy needed me to do for him. So I went in the next day and handed my notice in, and I didn't have to work my notice. I literally left the same day, cleared my desk and left. And I remember driving home that day, and it was late morning, and I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to go and pick him up from nursery. I want to go and get him early. And his little face when I walked in there that day to pick him up, and this was sort of end of July. I went just before his 4th birthday, and I went to pick him up from nursery, and he was so excited because I was there early before all the other mummies and daddies had got there. And I just took him to the park, and I remember just sitting there thinking, this is it now. I've got my freedom back. I can be the best parent, but also the best version of me, the best person. And I needed that time. I needed that time to adapt to this massive change in my life. And then a few years later, I then went into helping my husband build his business from the ground up. Very successful business he's got now. And then I slowly evolved into helping other business owners, and then went into my coaching practice after graduating with my diploma. But that's years later. But my point of today is, today we had 21 years ago today, we had a massive life change within our world, and that's what gave me the push to jump. Absolutely gave me the push to jump away from the corporate world. Didn't need it anymore. Didn't want to be commuting. Didn't want to miss my kids. You know, I've since gone on to have two daughters as well. But back then, I just didn't want to be doing it anymore. And, you know, I talk to my clients now, my startups, people that have got ideas about businesses, and I talk to them now, and you know, and we have things like, you know, contingency planning, and it's all in my ebook that I've written. But, you know, we talk about having plans and being prepared for making that leap. I really wasn't prepared. I just leapt. If you can leap, I'd done it. I just literally jumped. So I've learned a lot, a hell of a lot from those experiences. And I don't want people to feel sad. This isn't a, you know, please feel sorry for us or anything, because, you know, I kind of look on it now that losing my mum-in-law at such a young age has made me the woman that I am today, and it's given me the opportunities to be free, to have the life that I've got, you know, to be able to be there for my children, to be there for them, you know, have the time to go and watch them on a sports day and not feel bad about it. I've not got to ask anyone for time off. I just schedule that in, and I just make sure that everything else is covered. And, you know, it is, to be fair, it is. So that's it for me. I just wanted to tell you, today been a really special day for us as a family. What the real, my fundamental, most important why is, and that's a little lad that's now grown into a 24-year-old man, who I'm extremely proud of, So that's it, before I get all emotional. So if you're thinking of making a leap, if you want to build a business, if you've got an idea, or you think you've got an idea, you know, if you want to make changes in your life, just go and do it. Grab it with both hands and do it. Don't go into 2018 and 2019 wishing that you'd done it sooner. Just do it. Whatever it is that needs doing and changing in your life, just do it. Because I promise you, life is way too short to be sitting there unhappy day in, day out, doing stuff and doing shit for other people that you don't want to be doing anymore. That's it. Lecture over from me. Have a fabulous day. And I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.